a lady called Jessica Grose. She wrote an article called "It's Not Your Kids Holding Your Career Back, It's Your Husband."
I do believe you can't have it all. Like you can't do everything all together at the same time and expect like perfect results. I think she said, women, if you want to be successful in your career, if you want to be like at this level, then marry down.
Ooh, why would I marry down when I can just marry someone that's understanding of who I am as a woman?
Yeah. You have to be aligned. I think that's the problem. Like, recently watching stuff like Blue Therapy. I know.
Yeah, you have to be aligned. That was a what? Yeah,
you have to be aligned.
You have to be aligned. Hi guys, welcome to the MoChunks show and welcome to another installment of Chit Chat with Mo, where we have controversial debates, honest conversation and so much more. And today I have a guest with me, the amazing, the beautiful Adella Afadi. Hi. How are you today?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm really good.
You look good.
Thank you.
I like the braids. Amazing. Gorgeous. Like I was literally just saying to Adella off camera that I was so excited when I came on YouTube and found that there was another UK sister doing video essays, they call it. So that's like when you break down topics similar to what we do in Chit Chat with Mo. And I found Adella. What was the first video? I think it might have been hustle culture.
Oh, okay.
No. Parasocial relationships.
Okay, yeah.
And I really, really loved that when I was like, well, okay, someone in the UK doing this too. And I've been like tuning in like every Sunday since then as well. So I'm really, really excited to have you on here because I really love how she breaks topics down. And I thought, you know what, we have to have you on the show as well.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Hi. That's good. And as you can see from the title, we're about to break down something that I'm very passionate about this. And it's basically, I found this article and it's called "It's Not Your Children Holding You Back, It's Your Husband." And it was an article from a lady called Jessica Grose. She wrote an article called "It's Not Your Kids Holding Your Career Back, It's Your Husband." And she features many like women that are CEOs that are successful, and she basically like offers the blueprint as to why they've been able to get there and why other women in comparison haven't quite gotten that or attained that level of success in their career. So we're going to break that down. But before we go on, guys, today's episode is sponsored by the amazing Sendwave. Now, Sendwave is an amazing money transfer app with you and your family in mind. A really quick and easy way to send money back home from the UK and the US to Nigeria in one of three ways. If your recipient in Nigeria has a USD bank account with either of these banks, so we've got First Bank, we've got UBA, we've got GT Bank and Access Bank, you can send US dollars directly to that bank account. If they bank with any of these banks I've just mentioned, so that's First Bank, UBA, GTB Bank and Access Bank, but they don't have a USD bank account, when the money hits their account, the bank will make a USD bank account automatically for them and it's free of charge. They don't have to pay anything. And the third way that you can actually send money back home as well is to a pickup point. So kind of like Amazon lockers. They don't need an account with any of these banks. That includes GTB Bank, Zenith Bank, Fidelity and Access Bank. So they just need to go to the pickup point. All they need is their IDs. They just go directly to the pickup point, grab their money and go home. Definitely go and download the Sendwave app and use my code, guys, MoChunks, for extra money. Depending on when you're sending your money, you can either get £5 extra or £10 extra, whatever it is. Just use my code and you're going to get extra money sent to your loved ones back home. So that's Sendwave app. Oh, crew. So let's get straight into this video. Okay, guys. So I really wanted to dissect this with you. What were your first thoughts?
My first thoughts were, damn, like the title is
very hitting.
Yeah, it's an intense title. It's quite a controversial title.
Yeah.
And then I read it.
Yeah.
And I think the first thing I got was like the theory or the hypothesis or whatever was that.
Yeah.
I think she said, women, if you want to be successful in your career, if you want to be like at this level, then marry down.
Ooh.
I think is what
yeah,
she said.
I hate that phrase, marry down.
Yeah, it sounds so like...
How are you going to decide that you married down?
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, so when I read that, I was like, okay, interesting. And then as I carried on reading it and I was like, okay, I think what they're saying makes sense because I do believe you can't have it all. Like you can't do everything all together at the same time and expect like perfect results.
Wow.
So
in every area of your life as well.
Area of your life. So for example, if you're married and you're both, you know, focusing on your career and then something like kids comes along, you can't both, or you can't both have your careers prospering and the kids are also like having their parents around. Everything can't be flourishing at the same time. So there's like sacrifice that has to be made. And if you're the woman who wants to be the career whatever and you're like, you want to excel in your career, then I guess that makes sense. Like if kids come in or if something comes in, somebody has to step back from that. And if you want it to be you, then you need to marry someone who's okay with that. So
when they say marry down, they basically are saying that, you know, if you're someone that you know that your career is very important to you and you want to be that CEO, we call it, as cringy as it is. If you want to be that CEO, you have to decide what kind of husband is going to allow you to manifest that. In a sense of when it comes to gender normative roles in society, you know, women tend to be the homemakers and the child rearers. And for that reason, a lot of them aren't able to chase their careers as much as a man would. You know, the hunters and gatherers, they go out there and get the bacon. But unfortunately, that doesn't work that well in this society anymore, where there's a lot of women that actually want to progress beyond just the wife and mother title. And that's where the conflict comes in. And, you know, like Adella was saying, you have to decide. You can't have it all. You have to decide, do I want to nurture my family full time? Or do I want to nurture my career full time? And there's actually a woman in the article, they gave an example of a lady that married a man that was much older and much further in his career. So by the time they were ready to raise children,
he was at home.
So he was the house husband and she was the CEO. You know what I mean? So like, it's interesting because not everyone's going to marry a bit later. Some of us want to marry from now, you know, and we have to kind of decide, you know, what husband we want straight away. And for me, it's like, why would I marry down when I can just marry someone that's understanding of who I am as a woman?
You have to be aligned. I think that's the problem. Like, you know, recently watching stuff like Blue Therapy, I know.
You have to be aligned. That was a what? You have to be aligned. You have to be aligned.
I don't think it's necessarily about marrying up, marrying down, this, that. It's just, you just decide. I think you should have this conversation before you get married and be like, okay, where do you want to be? Like, what do you want our focus to be?
What are your expectations?
What are your expectations? If we have kids, what do you see happening? What do I see happening? And if you're not aligned on some of the big things, you have to sort of make that choice, whether you're going to sacrifice something, compromise, or just
I was actually dating a guy prior to my current partner now. I was dating a guy about 2 years ago, and I was analysing very early on in the relationship and making my conclusions, and that led to the decision where I walked away. We had conversations about just basic things, domestic stuff, so about cooking. And the thought of cooking would ginger this guy. Like he he was that typical conk Nigerian man that believes so strongly in, you know, those patriarchal gender roles. You know, the wife is cooking, even though he knew before you came to me, you know everything I do, you know how ambitious I am, but still he wanted me to be that woman that would be ambitious but also still be a homemaker. So, you know, there's like 3 categories of women when it comes to ambition. I believe there's those that drop their career for their children and their family. I believe there's those that try to juggle both. And there's one that leaves their family for their career. So he wanted me to be the middle one. In a sense of, I'm chasing the bag. He loved that, but he still wanted me to come home. You know them ones, you come home at 5 p.m. Where's the soup? Where's the, you know, I was like, guys, I'm doing a quick pause here just to add an extra little bit to this point. So I believe there's actually 2 subsections of women that juggle. In so doing, there's actually 4 women that we're trying to describe here. So within the women that try to juggle, there's woman A, who, because of the support from her partner, be it domestically, household with the children, she's able to thrive in both her career and in her home because there's shared responsibility. And on the opposite side is the woman who becomes burnt out, trying to juggle family and her career without the support of her partner. And in so doing, she's carrying two loads on her head by herself. There's no shared responsibility and she doesn't progress as well. So there's actually 4 women. So the guy I was seeing 2 years ago prior to my current partner actually wanted me to be more of the burnt out woman. He was quite happy for me to chase my career and look after the home, but he wasn't going to contribute, or he wasn't happy to contribute to the domestics and the child rearing. He was quite happy for me to be the burnt out woman rather than him supporting me in the home as well, which is why I had to walk away.
I feel like that's where we are now in society. We've got these not blurred lines. I don't know what the word is. Maybe we want to have the best of both worlds, where it's like we want to take a bit of the tradition and a bit of the modern thingy. And fair enough, if the two of you can work that out and you're like, okay, we're going to do this and this and this, you can define, what your standard of your relationship is. But yeah, that whole wanting both, chase the bag 100%, be at home 100%.
It's possible. It's not. The maths is not mathing. No, it's not. It's actually not possible. And I think a lot more. I think men need to come to terms with the fact that you might not have that dream housewife. A lot of them dream about having a housewife. So you kind of
dream of being a no, I'm joking. No, I'm joking. But I do think men do need to understand that. I do think women,
not all,
yeah. But I do think sometimes some of us women also need to understand a bit, the whole idea of having the best of both worlds. I think if you want, because I think now the narrative seems to be I want a rich man, he's gonna take care of me and this and this and this. But then I think the kind of man they want wants the housewife. So it's kind of
they want a kept woman.
Yeah. So if you want to be a kept woman, are you okay with the kind of man that desires a kept woman? Right. And sometimes I think that's where the conflict is, because it's no, I'm independent, but take care of me. But I'm independent. So it's
and I think a lot of men do want to keep a woman as well. Yeah. So a lot of them would rather you don't work. But for me, this isn't about money. This is my passion. It's literally my lifeline. It's how I breathe. It's that serious for me. So to leave all of this, the media mogulette, to be a wife, just solely a wife, blessings, it's an amazing blessing to find your spouse. Love ain't easy.
No.
And to encounter love, and you're married, to find the one or to make the one, it's not as easy as it seems. And when you do, you want to hold on to that. But also I love my career. I love my passion. I love turning on a camera. I love speaking. I love conversation. I wouldn't leave that because I've become a mother and a wife. So very early on, I've discerned. And, my mom used to say it to me as well. She said, you need to be with someone that, won't be intimidated. 100%. If you were to be this global star, if you become an Oprah, for example, you don't want someone that's going to be intimidated. And then I've always known within myself, because my mom is still quite patriarchal, that generation. I've always known within myself that I can't be with a man that's not domesticated, number one. Yeah. So that they can't, lift a finger in the kitchen. Yeah. They're waiting for me to be, waited on them hand and foot. They're waiting for me to clean the house. Okay, triggered. Yeah, no, I can't be with someone that literally wants me to be the sole homemaker, especially when we're both making money. Yeah. And I think that's the difference between the generation before and now, or modern society and back in the day, in the sense of the men did used to go out and make the money. So that made sense for the women.
Economically, it's still... it doesn't, you can do it, but you can't live a lifestyle that you want to live, because now it's not feasible for one person to work and the other person to not work. That's even that in itself is you have to be in
things are expensive
salary. Yeah, exactly.
Listen.
I my view is that for me personally, I do love my career and I do what I've achieved, etc. But I don't know yet, because I don't have kids, but I feel that when I have kids, that might change. I think I will be very happy to stay home and kids, but for example, my YouTube channel, I'd always want to continue that, but I'm talking going into the office 9 to 5, because I do that. I'm not. So I didn't relate to the article completely because I'm not I don't think I'm that way inclined where I'm like holding on to my career.
Yeah.
And I think my husband knows that as well.
Yeah.
So he's like,
it's not life and death.
no,
at the end
it's
of the day.
not.
A passion is just a passion.
I would be perfectly happy. I think like that's such a good and I think that's a more important job, to be honest. Raising children, I think is more important than any career I'll ever have, because I'm raising this generation.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't see it necessarily as like I don't work. It's like I do a really important job.
And does your husband see it the same way? I think that's important.
What, as in wanting me to stay home?
No. Does your husband like, so when he has kids as well, obviously with you.
Baby. Yeah.
When you both have kids, is he thinking about, cutting down in terms of his career as well?
Yeah.
And nurturing, yes.
He is 100%. So he's very strong on like, because we're Christians. So it's like, what is his job as a husband?
Amen.
In the household, and he understands how important it is for him to lead his family like in Christ. So he's very big right now. He's almost frustrated because with regards to career, he wants to he thinks of money as time. So he's like, I want time back. I don't want to be like even if he's on 100k, he doesn't want to be like in the office 24/7 working weekends. He wants like financial freedom, basically, so that he can get time back, so that when we do have kids, even before we have kids, like just family and friends, he can like invest time into that. But he knows that when I have kids, I wouldn't want to have like whatever the minimum maternity leave is. I wouldn't want to do that and then go back and leave my child. So I think he feels the pressure now.
Yeah.
Every time I say like, I'm just gonna get pregnant and have kids, he knows that he's trying to put stuff in place now.
Amen.
So that I have the luxury of not having to.
It's about putting the right foundations, isn't it?
Yeah.
Into place for you both to kind of nurture your family. Yeah. And I think that's a distinction with like a woman that's kind of like left everything and at the detriment of her career, but then the husband isn't making similar sacrifices. I think I'm very big on, it's our family. Let's both make sacrifices where necessary. It's not that it's just one person that's expected to leave everything. Do you know what I mean? And that's why they said like a lot of companies don't like hiring, women sometimes because of pregnancy, age, maternity. No, it makes sense for both to definitely like make sacrifices.
I think sacrifices is like subjective though, isn't it? Like what is the because for example, if it's like, if you've both agreed that one person is going to stay home and like, if you're not in a financial position to do that comfortably, then maybe the sacrifice is the other person is actually working more for a time being, because it's like we need to sustain this. But equally the sacrifice could just be, you know what, you can't be working late anymore because now we've got kids to raise. So,
I think my thing also with those kind of situations is, why is it sometimes it seems like in a situation whereby you are deciding together that actually one of us is going to stay at home, why is it sometimes, or you see most of the time, it's the woman?
Do you not think, oh God, don't cancel me, please.
Yeah.
But do you not think that there's some biology?
So don't cancel me. No, we're very understanding on this platform. We have, every now and again, we have some people that come into the community. But generally, we have conversation. Yeah, go on.
This is just a thought in my head, but do you not think that that's partly just natural, as in like the biology of it? Like,
so because the woman's like breastfeeding.
I carry this child, I've birthed this child, like I have the nutrients for this child. I don't know, I feel like there is some like natural order to that.
Right.
And some could argue that women,
that makes sense.
I don't believe that men and women are the same. Okay. Like obviously we're equal 100%, but I don't think we're the same. I think we have strength qualities that complement each other. And so I can't speak, it's not for all women. I know some people have this trait, that trait, but when it comes to nurturing and like having that nurturing nature, I do think that is a feminine trait. Yeah.
So that's more like early development stage though. Yeah. But what about when they're still teenagers?
Oh no. Okay. So
when they're teenagers and you're still raising them at the detriment of your career.
Regardless, I think both should raise the children. They should be, doing it together.
Because you come across some stories like, I remember I saw on TikTok, there was a lady, she's a nurse, peak pandemic time, went away for a few weeks because she couldn't be with her family, had to self-isolate, and she came back to mess. Those stories like irk my spirit because it's like come on, like
it's I've heard stories and seen stories where it's like oh, you left them at home with the dad. Are you sure? And it's like, what?
Yeah, he's their dad.
He's their dad. Kind of thing. So yeah, I agree with that.
Or like when women are out and they're like, you shouldn't be out, your child is, I think we definitely get chastised a lot more for living our lives, not just career, for living our lives when there's kids present. I think there is that onus, an extra onus on the woman to be the homemaker, to be the one that looks after the children. I think that's where I'm like, I also hear stories of like women will come on TikTok and literally tell you like, I'm tired, and I'm like, where's your husband?
No, that's very true. Yeah, that's very true. I think it's weird. It's like the identity of the woman becomes whoever she's attached to. It's you're a wife now, or you're a mum now, and it's like those things are all good things. But
I do believe so strongly that the pressures of motherhood wouldn't be such a pressure if father stepped up and also partook in parenting the like actively parenting the children, and that's not just showing up financially, that's showing up emotionally, that's showing up physically, that's supporting her when she needs a break. Not even supporting, you're literally raising your child. When men are like, I'm babysitting. No, that's mad. You're looking like, imagine a woman said that. I'm babysitting. You're looking after your child.
100%. I think you have to parent equally.
Or at least as much.
You have to collaborate.
Basically. I don't think it can be equal because, like you said, biology, breastfeeding. I'm the one that's going to give birth. You can't. You're going to hold my hand. Hopefully,
I think they're equally as important.
Yeah,
so I was in my head while you were saying that. I was like, which parent's more important? Is it the mom? Honestly, I think they're both equally. I think you would notice the void either way. Like you see, like single parent households. If it's the single mom, they might lack this certain thing. If it's a single dad, they might lack. So I do think they're equally as important. It's kind of like love, isn't it? It's really difficult to quantify, but you see its absence. When it's not there, you feel it. 100%. And when it is there, you love the ring, girl. I just was like, when you see it, it's there. When it's there, you see it. When it's not, wow, that was a really good point. And I recently did therapy, like talking therapy, and oh my god, everything comes from childhood. Because I was like, he kept asking me like, oh, when I'd bring something up, he'd be like, oh, did you experience this as a child? And I used to be like, oh, relax, like my childhood was great, everything was fine. But as you dig, you realize no, everything basically comes from your upbringing. So as parents, we need to really not mess our children up. Like obviously, not all of it's because you were a bad parent. It might just be something small that's happened in the childhood, or the way you communicate with your child, the way you show them love. But all of that, it doesn't just go away. Like it affects them in adulthood. Essentially,
like you're adding layers to who your psyche or what your psyche becomes as an adult, and it affects your relationships and
you have to be mindful of everything, like the way you both parents communicate around your children, like what you show them, because that's where they learn everything. That's where they learn what love is, what arguing is, what fighting is.
So imagine from a young age, you're literally teaching your son or daughter it's mom's job to parent, or it's dad's job to bring money home, and then he grows up with that same mentality and then goes on to perpetuate those same dynamics in his relationships. Like the brother uncle that I met, the guy I met that I was dating before, like 2 years ago, that was like the thought of cooking was just like, how dare you kind of thing.
But the thing is, there's probably a woman out there who's like, yeah, cool, and they're fine with that. I don't know about the whole I cook and also work. That's a bit mad. But there might be someone out there, and if they align, then cool.
it's exactly what you said. You have to be in alignment with whoever you're with. So it's like, I knew straight away in that kind of dynamic, no, it's not for me. And like, whereas my partner now, like I see it's just, I see the alignment without saying too much. Like I see how he can support me through the highs and the lows, and I can support him as well, because I believe so strongly that a relationship, you're meant to help each other, and you're literally partners.
You're literally partners. Oh, is it recorded?
Yes, cool. It is.
I think you just have to be aligned. But I think you have to be careful not to let outside influences or like society influence your relationship, because sometimes it's a joke at home, but sometimes I get triggered by something my husband does, but not when I like dissect it. It's not because of what he's done, it's because of like what that means in a wider context. Like for example, if he asks, for example, let's say, I don't know, he asked me to make him some food, instantly I'm like, what?
Yeah,
why do I have to make you food?
Yeah.
Because I'm the woman, I have to make you food. And then when I actually think about it, I'm like, no, relax. Like if you asked him to make you food, he would do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
But what I'm bringing is outside how women
the voices on Twitter.
Yeah.
Listen, you might have read a thread that morning, and something happens. It's happened to me as well.
I'm being triggered because in society, men see women like this, but it's like, no, Adella, forget about that.
And you have to be careful with that energy as well. I think there's a lot of good fight going on, in the real world on Twitter surrounding like gender inequality. You have to be so careful, especially when you've got a good one.
And not to be like
and you're trying to bring that energy when homeboy just wanted a sandwich.
Literally, and I know for
he's not oppressing you.
I know for a fact. I said, hey babe, can you make me a sandwich? He would get up and he would do it. But like I'm triggered because I'm a woman, I have to make it. It's just like Adella, relax. Like just look at what you have. Don't look at what's going on out there.
So just to recap, alignment is super key, like super key. Don't be somebody that wants a housewife going for the she. Exactly. We know that word is cringy, but
the girl boss.
The girl boss. You did the click as well. Don't be if you want a housewife, go for someone that wants to be completely kept. And if you want to be kept, be kept. So go for your tribe,
just
basically.
Have the conversation, like just talk about this before you get in too deep. Just be like, this is what I want. Because for example, if you want to be independent but kept, I don't understand the two.
Indie kept.
You want to be indie kept.
I think I like a bit of I don't mind being spoiled.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I mean. I don't mind being spoiled, but I don't see a man as a financial plan. If that makes sense.
That's definitely me. I'm like, I want to know that I can do my own thing. But
and if the going gets tough, like things happen in marriage. People think it's just a man that has money all the time. Men lose their jobs. Like my aunties think people be going through things that you don't see on the surface, that they're like, they've had to be doing the bills for the last 7 months and no one can even sniff that the man's lost his job because she's just that kind of woman that was able to imagine if she was the housewife. So it's like, regardless of whatever stage you are in life, there has to be love. I think genuine love, because I think there's no way you can love someone and oppress them in a marriage. Because sometimes I hear something and I'm like, how can you love this person?
And when you say love, well, when I think of love, I'm not thinking of the feeling. I'm thinking of like the verb. So actually, is it a verb? Yeah, the verb. Actual, like, it's a doing word. So you don't always love your partner. Trust, like, you don't always even like them. But if you always love them,
you don't have to love me. You don't even have to like me. But you will respect me because I'm a boss. Sorry. I did this a lot. Sorry, go on.
But if you always have to show love. Always act in love.
Love solves a lot of things, like if you really analyze, am I loving them the way I raised my voice? Am I loving them? Am I showing love right now the way I decided to just leave my bow on the side for my slave to come and collect? Like am I showing love? And
I feel like if the two of you are like, I'm here to love you and to serve you. You're here to love me and to serve me, rather than me thinking about, what are you doing for me? And you're thinking, because there's going to be the clash. But if I'm focused on your happiness, you're focused on my happiness, we'll be happy. And like, I think as well, there's just so much more important things. Like I feel like nowadays on social media, we just argue, and men and women are arguing about
back and forth over and over again, guys, the same recycled topics.
We're really wasting our time here. Like we could actually collaborate and do some good stuff instead. I think there's just more important things. So when you're looking for like a partner, money, great, status, great, but like that's not going to raise your kids to an extent. Like, I think character, to be honest, is more important than anything. And like,
genuine love, character, alignment.
Alignment is the word.
So regardless, because that it can show up in different ways. It's not just career. It's different things that life throws at you. But if you have those 3 ingredients and probably some more as well, we just covered those. I'm sure it will be a good ride.
It'll be hard.
Yes, it'll be good. Thank you so much for joining me on this. And before we go, today's chit chat with Mo. If you're a career woman out there, what's kind of been your experience with marriage and raising children? Have you had to step away from your career so you can raise your children, or vice versa? Have you had to step away from your children and your husband to nurture your career? What was that process kind of like? Are you the kind of woman that has the best of both worlds? So indie kept? Are you independent and kept as well? And how is like finding the balance between motherhood and your career been? That's another thing I wanted to mention actually. There's always all these seminars about about balancing motherhood and career, but there's not much about fatherhood and career, and because all these little things in society that are so subtle that create all these dynamics in our marriages, in our homes. So you guys let me know what you think about the things that we spoke about as well. And if you're unmarried, you're a single woman, or you're dating, what's your ideal marriage or like home dynamic? Just have to pause here again because I forgot the men, but I know that men do listen in and comment on Chit Chat with Mo. If you're a married man, what's your current dynamic like with your wife and your children? And if you're a single man as well, what's your ideal? Would you like to be the man that's, just looking after the home financially? Will you be sharing the responsibility of domestic tasks and rearing children? Or do you plan to leave it all to your wife and just handle the career side of things? Let us know in the comment section down below. Guys, please definitely check out Adella. Where can we find you on all your socials? So all my socials are my name, Adella Afadi. So my YouTube is Adella Afadi, my Instagram and my Twitter. You're definitely not going to regret going on her YouTube. You're going to enjoy it. You don't tweet as much. I don't. Yeah, you don't tweet as much. I've been told your YouTube. Yeah. You're doing a great job, girl. Thank you so much. I'm super proud of you. Like you're doing in a short space of time. It's inspirational. Thank you. And speaking of collaboration, I can't even take all the credit. My husband does so much of the work. So he really helps me a lot. Like he at least shout out to you, husband. Yeah. Thank you. And that's so what we mean, like when you are supported as a woman, as a man, regardless, so much more, like so you do. If you want to go far, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. So please support your spouses, regardless of whether they're the weaker gender that society has labeled as. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Do like if you liked it, share with your friends, and comment down below on the things we spoke about, and subscribe to the channel for more. Until next time, guys, peace and love, peace and chunks. Bye.